everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim Betts Floral Design, where we talk about all things floral. So today what I'm making is a cute little thank you bouquet, and I have these nice mugs that I pick up wherever I can find them around town when I see them on sale. I think I got this one up at our home goods store, and I bought a bunch of them and just saved them. But look how cute that is. Isn't that like the perfect sunshine, happy, thank you type of container? So I'm going to take this container and we're going to build out a nice little quick floral arrangement to send up to the doctor's office and just say thank you. Okay, so here we go with our container, and we are going to start adding some of our flowers. Now, I like to use hydrangea as a base, kind of as a grid for my first layer of flowers. And this is just a nice small one, and I've cut off a damaged area. And of course, I'm using some clear floral tape, and we're gonna put a grid on top of the container to hold all of our florals in place. You definitely need a grid when you're working with a low, a container with a wide open mouth on the top. Your flowers will just topple right out when you're doing things like a bubble bowl or a mug or, a square cube or something like that. It's low with the wide opening. You need to use some sort of a grid if you're not using floral foam. And so I'm just doing a nice checkerboard pattern with the floral tape here on top of the container. We have to add some water, and I'm putting some flower food in my water. Flower food has got a sweetener in it, like sugar, and a little bit of powdered bleach to inhibit the growth of bacteria and mold in your water. Giving it a good stir here. I just use cold tap water, and I put a packet of the small packet of floral food. And now I'm giving my hydrangea a cut, and I'm dipping it in a hydrating solution called Quick Dip. It just helps the flower take up water. Putting the water in my container there. I fill my containers about halfway full when I am building them to deliver. That way the water doesn't slosh everywhere and get your van wet. And then I have a tag I put on my florals that say I'm thirsty, to let the customer know to, once they receive their arrangement, to go ahead and top off the vase with water. And I'm just putting in my hydrangea there, and now I'm using some solidago, and I'm cutting that apart. Solidago sometimes it comes in a nice big full stem, so you can cut it apart. This is a small arrangement, and I'm cutting it apart in smaller pieces so things are more to scale. And I've got the small piece there, and then I'm going to use the bottom part of it, and I'm going to put it under the hydrangea itself. and that's a little bit of trick. And it's just a nice green, fluffy greenery that looks pretty in these smaller arrangements. And I'm cutting it down again to scale, getting nice small pieces that look good and balanced in this smaller arrangement. Right now I'm adding some beautiful pom-pom mums. These are just so big and pretty. And they are the most beautiful creamy yellow. So I'm only going to put a couple in this arrangement, but I am separating them all, stripping off the leaves, and setting them in a vase of water at the top of my workstation there. It's important to strip those leaves off because they really wilt, and oh, just such a pretty flower. Look at that. I love working with these big pom-pom mums. Cutting it down to size, placing it down in the arrangement. But it is important to remove all the foliage to keep the flower at its premium health. And I'm just taking off that little netting. Did you see how it was covering the head of the flower? That's the way it comes from the wholesaler. It protects the bloom. But when you get it, you go ahead and just take that off. And I toss them out. I don't try to save them or anything. And that is just, I'm only going to use 2 because they are really good size. And like I said, it's a smaller arrangement. So that is definitely all you need. All right, it's time to add some more focal flowers, and I'm going to put in these beautiful orange and yellow roses. I'm taking off some of the outer petals that don't look so good anymore and just tossing those aside. And look how that flower just freshens right up once you remove those bruised petals off the outside. Cutting it down to size and placing it right there in the arrangement. I'm going to use 3 of these roses total. Cutting off the little sepal petals, hydrating it with some quick dip, and right down into the arrangement it goes. All right, now it's time to add some accents to our arrangement, and these are green hypericum berries. Just pulling off some of those old brown berries off of there. We definitely don't want to use those, and cleaning up some of the leaves. And I'll get a nice fresh stem there, and I can use that in the arrangement. Now, this style of arrangement I'm doing, and I think I've talked about this before in some of my other videos, but this is a pave style arrangement, which means that it's a kind of a roundy, a rounded shape, which is a real clean traditional shape for floral arrangements. And I've just cut the berries in two separate segments there. But pave is very, very popular in elegant design, like for weddings, tabletop centerpieces, gift arrangements. It's just a real clean, classic design. I'm taking an 18 gauge piece of floral wire and just cutting it down into about a 4-inch length, and I'm placing it into the base of the rose and just twisting around the stem, give it a little bit of support there. All right, we are finishing up with some mini carnations, and to review what we did, we started with our container put on a grid with clear floral tape. Then we added some fresh, clean water with floral food in it. And then our flowers consisted of hydrangea as our base, green trick dianthus for our greenery. We added some yellow solidago for our fill. Then our focal flowers were 2 yellow cremone mums, 3 orange and yellow roses. We put some accent in with green hypericum berry. And then we finished off with our flyaway mini carnations and additional yellow solidago to just fill things out. And that is our completed thank you bouquet.